the movie sets itself up as looking one very specific way, and by the end of it, you realize that all of that is wrong. And I think that's visually and from a character standpoint, a narrative standpoint, all of those things have been significantly switched around by the time the movie ends. The El Royale sits on the border of California and Nevada, so it's half in both states. And it's the design team did an amazing, art department did an amazing job. Both sides of the hotel have kind of unique personalities and represent different things. And the sharp-eyed viewer will see that the California side is very different from the Nevada side, and different things happen on different sides of the hotel. So it very much plays with dichotomy and two sides of things, positive and negative, and I'll leave it at that. My character, Laramie Seymour Sullivan, is ostensibly a vacuum cleaner salesman, going around the country and hawking vacuums. We come to find out that he is not, or at least that's not all he is. And we see that he has a much bigger role in the story of this hotel. And then we come to find out what exactly that is. And then we come to find out that there are other people that maybe don't want him to have that role. Yeah, my character gets to do quite a lot in a short amount of time. It's got a lot of secrets, and those slowly kind of become revealed as the movie progresses, and it gets weirder and darker and scarier. Well, it's great. I've had the experience a couple times in my career of working with somebody who knows exactly what they want, because they've created this thing out of whole cloth. That was certainly the case with Baby Driver and Edgar Wright, and that's certainly the case with Matthew Weiner and Mad Men. And Drew has a lot of that in him. As a filmmaker, he knows what he wants to see in the frame, and it's our job to kind of bring that forth and you know, make it happen. So that was great. Like, you never felt like the director, who's, you know, the chief of staff on set, you never felt like he was grasping at straws. He knew what he wanted and how to go get it. I've admired Jeff's career my whole life, and I've been a fan of his since I first saw him in, I'm gonna say Tron, but I remember, you know, seeing Last Picture Show and seeing all of his work and just being blown away, including a movie called Blown Away. I think it was called that. But yeah, I've loved his work for a long, long time, and to get a chance to work with him was a real dream come true. But I mean, I could say the same thing about pretty much everyone else in the cast. Cynthia is such a phenomenally talented woman, and Dakota and Lewis and everybody on down the line. It was a really, really fun group of people, and you know, we're all on the same page. It was really nice. I loved the idea, you know, Drew had clearly spent so much time thinking about this project, and his writing, the sensibility of it, and you could tell, you know, he had listened to these songs, he had a soundtrack to it it was very similar to what Edgar had done in Baby Driver. Like, the songs were laid in there, so you really got a sense of not just the period aspect of it, but what was going to be happening when you're seeing what you're seeing on screen. And that's so tremendously helpful in setting a mood, especially even when you're reading something, because you think, oh my gosh, I can see it in my head and I can hear it in my head, and it all works out very well. I mean, sometimes in screenplays there's so much stage direction or things that you get confused by, but this wasn't that. And so I read it in like an hour and immediately said yes, and like 2 days later was on a plane. Bad Times at the Royale is just sits in a unique place. It's a thriller, it's a mystery, it's a lot of things. It's kind of a psychological thriller. It's a whodunit. You know, the movie kind of, because it's an original piece of entertainment, you know, there isn't anything like Bad Times at the El Royale right now. It's kind of many-genred instead of just being a genre or based on a book, play, comic book, you know, ride, toy, what have you. I think it's an exciting challenge for moviegoers, and I think people, the response I've had to the trailer so far, people have been like, that movie looks amazing.